These $1 bills are worth a whole lot more money than just $1, and we're going to show you everything that you need to know. Now, here is the reality. Most people will not even look at their $1 bills. That's why there's still a lot of these type of bills out there that nobody even knows about. Now, typically speaking, the more obvious and apparent it is when it comes to a $1 bill that's worth money, the quicker it gets taken out of circulation. So pay attention. This $1 bill sold for $21,600, and here's why. So the back of the bill looks normal. You can see the margins around the bill, which is the white border, are relatively centered. The more centered the bill is, the higher the grade can be. Now, grade is important because grade will dictate the value, but more on that in just a second. If you look at the back plate number, which is in the center bottom right corner, like I said, that's called the back plate number. That is essentially an internal bookkeeping indicator for the employees at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing that tells them where this specific bill is located on a printing plate. What you need to know on this specific bill is that the error is on the front of the bill. So pretty apparent, but there's a multiple impressions error. Now you can see the grade is a 63. This bill would have sold for a lot more money if it was a higher grade. Now remember before I was telling you about the margins and how centered the back of the bill was. The centering on the front of the bill is not that nice. You can see top to bottom it's way off. That's why this got a 63 and it didn't get like a 67 or a 66. If this would have got a 66 or a 67, it would have clearly brought more money than $21,600. So this is pretty wild. This is a $1 bill from the series of 2017. It sold on eBay for $680. Now you can clearly see there's a bunch of folds and circulation going right down the center of the bill. Again, a few things that I would have liked to see is one, this bill really should be graded. It is not. And two, it goes to show that people don't know what to look for because this one passed multiple people's hands before someone noticed that this was a solid number 5 serial number. If you ever come across a rare bill, do not fold it like this person did because you are severely decreasing the value of the bill. The more folds, the more damage, the lower the condition is, the lower the value is going to be, without question. But again, $680 for this $1 bill. We'll spend just 10 seconds here. This is a genuine $1 bill from the series of 1869. Collectors call this a rainbow note. This is a legal tender bill, large size. So the size of this bill is much bigger than we're used to seeing with a small size paper money. Moral of the story on this one is that if you ever come across an 1800 series bill like this, you could be in for a real treat. This is one of my favorite types of bills, the rainbow note. This one sold for $31,200, guys. Isn't that mind-blowing? Look how beautiful this piece of history is. All right, so we want to educate our audience on these. These two $1 bills sold for $227.50. Now there's a few big things. First of all, this is from the series of 2013. It is from the District of New York. You can see that by the large B on the left hand side in the district seal. Now to keep a very long story short, when the US prints paper money, there's only two facilities in the US that produces them. You have the Fort Worth, Texas facility and the Washington, D.C. facility. Fort Worth produced notes are visible by looking at the front plate number. You will always see an FW before the plate position. If you do not see an FW anywhere on the bill, that means the bill was produced at the Washington, D.C. facility. So specifically on these 2013 B star notes, really quickly, a star note is just when a bill has an error on it, they destroy the sheet and produce a new sheet with a star at the end of the serial number. If you have a 2013 B star note, they accidentally produced the same serial numbers for both the Washington, D.C. facility and the Fort Worth, Texas facility. So there's a few things we recommend here. Let's go to the next note when we tell you about this here. So like I said, there's a few things we recommend. This is the example we're talking about. These two bills sold for $5,138. You can see the serial numbers are identical, and you can also see one says Fort Worth and one does not, meaning that it was from the Washington, D.C. facility. So this is what you can do if you have one of these bills. You can either A, sell it on eBay and make a good amount of money, or you can try to hunt down the other bill that you don't have and then sell them together. Now obviously there were a ton of these bills produced, so it's hard to track down that bill, but if you come across it and you link them up like this person did, you're in for a real treat because $5,138 for this pair of $1 bills. If you learned something in this video, share it with a friend and we'll see you in the next video.